There's a land where the jungle hides secrets older than time. Where the sea kisses shores of white sand, yet beneath lies a world far stranger. Rivers don't always flow on the surface. They carve paths underground, forming shimmering blue caves. Ancient cities rise in silence, half swallowed by vines yet alive with stories. Stone temples whisper the legacy of gods and kings. Myths still wander through the plazas, told in shadows and echoes. The people here carry traditions that stretch across centuries. Music and dance carry rhythms of both earth and sea. Food carries flavors that speak of survival and celebration. Wildlife moves freely, sometimes dazzling, sometimes dangerous. It is a world both hidden and alive. This is the hidden world of Yucatán, from underground rivers to lost cities. Overview. Imagine a place where beaches rival the Maldives, ruins rival Egypt, and underground rivers rival nowhere else on Earth. That's Yucatán. This peninsula juts into the sea between the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico, a wedge of land brimming with secrets. Cancun, its crown jewel of modern tourism, buzzes with resorts, nightlife, and endless stretches of sand. But drive south, and you'll hit Tulum, where Maya temples perch above turquoise waves, creating a view so surreal it feels staged for cinema. Go further inland, and the vibe shifts again. Chichen Itza, one of the new seven wonders of the world, where the pyramid of Kukulkan still plays cosmic tricks with light and shadow. Yet the real magic of Yucatan may be hidden underground. Cenotes, limestone sinkholes filled with pure, clear water, dot the landscape like natural jewels. The Maya saw them as sacred portals, and standing at their edge today, you understand why. No other place fuses beach party energy with ancient spirituality and raw natural beauty in quite the same way. Yucatan is not a single identity, it's layers. Modern resorts, ancient cities, and underground mysteries stacked together. It's the kind of place where one morning you're diving in a cenote, and by evening you're walking through ruins under a star-filled sky. This balance of the known and the hidden gives Yucatan its power. You don't just visit, you unravel it. And every unraveling reveals another story, another secret, another reason why Yucatan is unlike anywhere else on the planet. Geography and nature. Welcome to the Yucatan, a region where nature hides its most incredible treasures underground. At first glance, the land looks completely flat, but that's only part of the story. The whole peninsula sits on limestone, and because of that, rivers don't run on the surface. Instead, water filters through the rock, carving massive underground tunnels. These tunnels connect cenotes, natural sinkholes filled with crystal clear water. Some are open pools perfect for swimming, others are dark caves where stalactites hang like chandeliers. Together, they form the longest underwater cave system on the planet, and divers are still discovering new passages. The cenotes aren't just beautiful, they're life itself, the main source of fresh water in this region. Climate-wise, Yucatan is tropical, warm, and humid, with two distinct moods. The dry season is all about sunshine and breezy days, while the rainy season transforms everything into lush green. Temperatures usually stay between 25 and 30 degrees Celsius, so it feels like summer year-round. Along the Caribbean coast, you'll find some of the whitest beaches in the world, where turquoise waves crash onto soft sand. Just a short trip inland, the vibe changes completely. You're surrounded by dense jungle. It's wild, it's loud, and it's alive with monkeys, toucans, and even jaguars. One of the highlights is the Sian Khan Biosphere Reserve, a UNESCO-protected wonderland of lagoons, mangroves, and untouched forests. And if that's not enough, the peninsula sits right next to the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef. This is the second largest reef in the world, second only to Australia's, and it's bursting with marine life. Snorkeling here means swimming with turtles, spotting colorful parrotfish, and maybe even gliding next to a manta ray. All of this, cenotes, jungles, reefs, comes together to make Yucatán a natural wonderland. It's not just geography, it's an adventure waiting at every turn, above ground, below ground, and out at sea. Mysteries and legends. The Maya saw water-filled sinkholes, or cenotes, as doorways where the living could speak to gods and the dead. In their cosmology, those limestone wells opened into Xibalba, the shadowy underworld that sits beneath the human realm. Priests lowered offerings of jade, copper bells, and copal resin into the water as messages to deities that governed rain and fate. At Chichen Itza's sacred cenote, dredging in the early 20th century recovered human remains alongside precious objects, confirming ritual use rather than rumor. The water's surface became a mirror, and the mirror became a threshold. Just a short walk away stands El Castillo, the Temple of Kukulkan, where stone and sunlight stage one of the hemisphere's most famous optical dramas. On the afternoons of the spring and fall equinoxes, triangular shadows crawl down the pyramid's north staircase. When they meet the carved serpent head at the base, the light suggests the feathered serpent deity slithering back to earth. The effect is not magic but mathematics. 9 terraces, precise angles, and an architect's command of the sun's path. Still, to the crowd that gathers, it feels like the cosmos briefly speaks in flicker and stone. Ritual life here was not limited to spectacle. It demanded sacrifice. The Maya practiced auto-sacrifice, bloodletting by nobles using stingray spines and obsidian blades to feed the gods with their own lifeblood. Evidence from carvings and colonial accounts shows that human sacrifice also occurred, including decapitation and, in some cases, heart extraction. The ballgame sometimes ended with ritual killing, weaving mythology into sport and statecraft. These acts were not cruelty for its own sake, but transactions in a sacred economy aimed at renewing time and rain. Legends in the region add another layer, whispering of treasure sealed in jungle-shrouded chambers. Stories tell of jade masks, codices, and gold hidden in caves or lowered into cenotes to keep them from conquerors. Archaeologists occasionally find caches of ceramics and jade, proving that ritual deposits were real, even if map-marked hoards remain folklore. The jungle collaborates with secrecy, knitting roots over stairways and swallowing trails overnight. Unlike pirate tales from the Caribbean that fixate on chests of coins, Maya treasure myths revolve around knowledge, ritual objects, and the power they hold. In this landscape, value is measured not in bullion, but in what binds humans to gods and seasons. Stand between the cenote and the pyramid, and you feel those values converging: water, stone, myth, and science. That is the heartbeat of the mystery, a civilization that engineered wonder to converse with eternity. Landmarks and wonders. Chichen Itza stands at the heart of the Yucatan's archaeological imagination, a compact metropolis of stone where astronomy, ritual, and imperial branding were carved into every facade. At its center rises El Castillo, the Pyramid of Kukulkan, a step pyramid that reads like a stone calendar and still commands the skyline. Built and modified over centuries during the classic to post-classic transition, El Castillo contains earlier substructures and a layered chronology that scholars trace to roughly the 8th through 12th centuries. Each of its 4 stairways contains 91 steps, and the summit platform counts as a final step, giving the whole structure a total that equates to the 365 days of a solar year, an intentional cosmological tally. But the real theater happens at the equinox, when the interplay of light and shadow along the north balustrade conjures the famous feathered serpent that seems to descend the staircase, a choreography of geometry and ritual spectatorship. Nearby, the Temple of the Warriors and its forest of carved columns extend the visual program of martial cosmology, reminding us that Chichen Itza's power was projected through both spectacle and architecture. The Great Ball Court sits to the west, its long walls still suggesting the acoustic and performative intensity of a game that fused competition, cosmology, and, at times, ritual sacrifice. Walking the plaza today, you feel layered voices in stone, astronomical markers, carved masks, rain god iconography, and the bold geometry of a people who measured their world by the stars. But Chichen Itza is not an isolated triumph. Its stylistic borrowings and trade links speak to networks that stretched across Mesoamerica, which is why the Temple of the Warriors looks outward to other cultural vocabularies as much as inward to local ritual practice. The conservation story is integral. Modern restorations stabilized facades, uncovered inner temples, and reframed how visitors experience the plaza, turning archaeology into live heritage. That heritage work asks viewers to wonder not just how the Maya built, but why they built. What temporal, political, and religious pressures shaped the scale of their monuments. For filmmakers, the site rewards pairing close-ups of masonry and glyphic panels with wide aerials that show how the city sits in a shallow, karst plain threaded by cenotes. The narrative spine of an episode should be chronological and sensory. Begin with the pyramid's geometry, then reveal the actors, the priest astronomers, the warriors, the players who performed within its plazas. Intercut conservator interviews explaining El Castillo's layered construction with sweeping drone passes that's situated among ball courts, sacred cenotes, and causeways. A close-up on the serpent head at the base of the northern staircase is an instantly shareable visual metaphor of continuity, ritual, and the human impulse to map myth onto stone. Keep the script grounded in measurable facts, dates, architectural terms, and the mechanics of the equinox phenomenon, because awe is deeper when it rides on accuracy. A living ruin that anchors modern Yucatan identity while still carrying the geometry of an empire. When you close the camera, suggest that the story continues along the coast at Tulum, in the Puuc Hills at Uxmal, and downstream into the marshes and reefs of Sian Khan, because Chichen Itza is the keystone of a regional matrix of power and environment. Tulum rises dramatically above the turquoise waters of the Caribbean, its walls standing guard over a city that once balanced trade, ritual, and the rhythms of the sea. From its cliffs, you can almost hear the sails of ancient canoes arriving with obsidian, jade, and cacao. The temples here are not as towering as Chichen Itza's, but their beauty lies in their intimacy with the ocean and the horizon. This was the last great Maya city to thrive before the arrival of Europeans, a sentinel on the edge of two worlds. Far inland, Uxmal tells a different story, one written in the elegance of the Puuc Hills. The Pyramid of the Magician rises with curved sides that defy convention, a monument both mysterious and mathematically precise. Uxmal's governor's palace stretches wider than any in the Americas, its stone mosaic work revealing artistry at a level rarely equaled. Where Tulum whispers of tides and trade, Uxmal proclaims grandeur and ceremony, a stage for kings who commanded from the hills. Together, these landmarks reflect the diversity of Maya genius, adapting architecture to landscape, climate, and cosmology. They remind us that the Yucatan is not defined by one city alone, but by a constellation of wonders, each shining with its own story. History and heritage. The Yucatan Peninsula carries the footsteps of an ancient people who settled here thousands of years ago. These were the Maya, builders of grand cities hidden in the jungle. Their brilliance reached its peak in places like Chichen Itza, with its towering pyramid of Kukulkan. In Uxmal, they carved intricate patterns into stone, leaving behind temples that seemed to breathe with history. Along the Caribbean coast, Tulum stood like a sentinel, gazing endlessly at the turquoise sea. These cities were not just settlements. They were centers of astronomy, art, and religion. Here, knowledge of the heavens guided agriculture, rituals, and the very rhythm of daily life. Stone was transformed into calendars, and plazas became stages for both ceremony and power. Priests studied eclipses while architects aligned temples with solstices. Every structure was a dialogue between Earth and cosmos, between human hands and divine order. Markets thrived with cacao, jade, and obsidian flowing in from distant lands. Sacred ball courts echoed with games that carried spiritual weight as much as sport. And throughout it all, firelight rituals kept alive stories of gods, heroes, and creation itself. Yet, around the 9th and 10th centuries, a great silence swept through. Many of these cities fell into decline, their plazas abandoned, their temples swallowed by vines. Historians still debate why. Was it drought, war, or shifting trade routes? This mystery adds a haunting allure to Yucatan's ruins. Centuries later, in the 16th century, the Spanish arrived. With them came conquest, but also a fusion of cultures. Catholic churches rose beside pyramids, and Maya traditions blended with European customs. Today, the region's architecture tells this layered story. In every stone, you feel both resilience and transformation. The Maya spirit did not vanish. It adapted and survived. Their descendants still honor rituals tied to the land. Yucatan's heritage is not just ruins in the jungle. It is a living echo of civilization's past. Walking among these sites is like touching eternity. It is history carved into earth and sky. And as the wind sweeps through ancient plazas, it carries voices that refuse to be forgotten. Culture and traditions. Picture yourself in Yucatan, where the air is filled with music that blends the ancient and the tropical. A Maya wooden flute calls out softly, then a Caribbean drumbeat answers, and suddenly the town square becomes a living concert of history and joy. This music sets the stage for the region's unforgettable festivals. During Hanal Piksan, the Maya Day of the Dead, families honor their loved ones with offerings of food, candles, and flowers, while preparing traditional dishes like mukbapalo. The celebration is deeply spiritual, transforming homes into sacred spaces of remembrance. Just a few months later, Carnival bursts onto the scene with dazzling parades, masks, and vibrant costumes that take over Merida's streets. Yet nothing compares to the equinox ritual at Chichen Itza, when thousands gather to watch the shadow of Kukulkan, the feathered serpent god, glide down the pyramid. This breathtaking phenomenon is not just science and architecture, it's cultural memory written in stone. Art is everywhere in Yucatan, from massive murals illustrating Maya cosmology to delicate hand-woven textiles sold in bustling markets. Each embroidered huipil tells a story of identity, nature, and tradition passed down through generations. Stone carving remains a living practice, reminding visitors of the same skill that shaped the temples and stelae of the ancient cities. Even in modern homes, handmade hammocks hang as symbols of comfort and continuity. What makes Yucatan's traditions so powerful is their ability to connect past and present. Children learn songs on Maya instruments, while young artists reinterpret ancient symbols in modern street art. Festivals aren't staged for tourists. They are genuine expressions of a community proud of its roots. The smell of copal incense, the rhythm of the drums, and the sight of vivid textiles create an immersive cultural landscape. In Yucatan, tradition is not frozen in time. It evolves, breathes, and celebrates life itself. It's a place where culture is not just remembered, but experienced, heart to heart, generation after generation. Signature cuisine. The Yucatan table is a map of Maya heritage, and every dish points to a different landmark. Cochinita pibil, sopa de lima, tamales, papazules, and panuchos form the core lineup, with Ixtabentún pouring like a sweet epilogue. Cochinita pibil is the region's signature slow-roasted pork, marinated in recado rojo built on achiote and sour orange. The meat is wrapped in banana leaves and buried in a pib, an underground pit lined with hot stones. That technique yields smoke-kissed tenderness comparable to Hawaii's Kalua pig, but perfumed with annatto and citrus instead of mesquite. Annatto provides the vivid color, while sour orange brings a bright, slightly bitter tang that cuts through the richness. Yucatecan oregano, garlic, and a touch of allspice round out the profile without overwhelming the pork. Traditionally, the finished meat is pulled and served with pickled red onions and a fiery habanero salsa. Sopa de Lima offers balance, a clear poultry broth scented with the local Lima agria and topped with crisp tortilla strips. The lime here is not generic. It's a perfumed Yucatecan variety that gives fragrance without harsh acidity. Tamales in Yucatan favor banana leaves over corn husks, producing a moist, custardy crumb. You might encounter tamales colados, where the masa is strained for silkiness, or vaporcitos, smaller bundles steamed to delicacy. Papadzules take a different path, filling tortillas with chopped hard-boiled eggs and bathing them in a velvety pumpkin seed sauce. A light tomato salsa finishes the plate, proving richness and freshness can share the same fork. Panuchos bring crunch, a puffed, fried tortilla stuffed with refried black beans and topped with turkey, avocado, and pickled onions. Compared to a tostada, the hidden bean pocket changes every bite, adding depth and creaminess. To drink, Stabentun is the local liqueur made from anise and fermented honey, often blended with a touch of rum. Sipped neat or splashed into coffee over ice, it lands like a floral, herbal dessert. Taken together, these specialties show how Yucatan cooks transform simple corn, citrus, beans, and seeds into layered cuisine. In a region famed for underground rivers and buried temples, it feels fitting that the most iconic flavor still rises from a hidden pit. People and lifestyle. Picture a fisherman in Yucatán setting sail as the sun rises over the Gulf of Mexico. His boat is small, but his knowledge of the sea is vast, passed down from countless generations. On land, families tend to their fields, planting maize and harvesting henequen, the plant once called green gold. The people here live close to nature, their daily rhythm dictated by tides, rain, and seasons. Hospitality is second nature. Travelers are greeted with warmth, often invited to share a meal of cochinita pibil or fresh seafood. In villages, the Maya language flows through conversations as naturally as the wind through the palm trees. Women proudly wear huipiles embroidered with vibrant flowers, their attire a living canvas of cultural identity. Rituals remain sacred, whether it's a blessing for the crops or a ceremony honoring the spirits of the cenotes. Yet Yucatán is not frozen in time. Young people scroll through smartphones while dancing Yorana during festivals. Streets echo with both traditional melodies and modern beats from passing cars. Merida, the White City, embodies this duality, with colonial architecture hosting digital startups and art collectives. On Sundays, families stroll the plazas, enjoying marquesitas, crispy crepes filled with cheese or chocolate. Community ties are strong, with neighbors helping one another in times of need. Even in bustling tourist towns, locals strive to preserve their heritage, teaching visitors Maya words or explaining ancient customs. Life here is resilient, shaped by centuries of adaptation. The past is never forgotten, but neither is the present ignored. What makes Yucatan extraordinary is not just its hidden rivers or ancient ruins, but the people who weave past and present into a single narrative. Their lifestyle is a testament to endurance, creativity, and pride. To truly know Yucatan, one must listen not only to its history but to the voices of its people today. Unique flora. When people think of Yucatan, they often picture towering pyramids and turquoise seas, but the soul of this land is also deeply rooted in its plants. The dense tropical forests are home to majestic ceiba trees, regarded as sacred by the Maya. These trees rise like cosmic pillars, believed to connect the heavens, the earth, and the underworld. Walking through the jungle, one encounters a wealth of medicinal herbs, each with a specific purpose honed over centuries. A crushed leaf can soothe stomach pain, a root can strengthen the body, and certain flowers calm the mind and spirit. The Maya passed down this knowledge from generation to generation, living in harmony with the rhythms of the natural world. Among these countless plants, cacao stands out as the most significant. For the ancient Maya, Mayuo, cacao was not merely a source of nourishment. It was considered a divine gift from the gods. They prepared it as a thick, spiced drink, often infused with chili, honey, or maize, believing it carried spiritual energy and wisdom. The beans themselves were so precious that they were used as currency, traded in bustling markets like gold. Cacao shaped social life as well. It featured in ceremonies, offerings, and even marriages. Today, when you bite into chocolate, you are tasting the legacy of the Yucatán, centuries of culture encapsulated in a single bean. Beyond cacao, the Yucatan jungle bursts with color and fragrance. Orchids in delicate pinks, purples, and whites cling to trees, while hibiscus flowers blaze like small suns against the greenery. Jasmine weaves its heady scent through warm nights, filling the air with a gentle sweetness. Every plant has a story, a purpose, and a place in the ecosystem. The Maya recognized this intricate balance, seeing the forest not just as a source of sustenance, but as a living, breathing partner in their daily lives. The combination of sacred trees, healing herbs, and flowering plants creates a botanical tapestry unique to this peninsula. Cacao, however, remains the crown jewel. It influenced not only food and drink, but also ritual, economy, and identity. Its presence in every aspect of Maya life reflects how one plant can shape an entire civilization. Even today, the legacy of cacao endures, linking modern taste to ancient beliefs and practices. As you explore Yucatan, the plants tell stories of survival, spirituality, and human ingenuity. From the towering ceiba to the smallest medicinal herb, each species contributes to a landscape both functional and enchanting. And at the heart of it all, cacao reminds us that even a single seed can leave a mark on history, culture, and the senses. Unique wildlife. The Yucatan's hidden world is alive with emblematic animals that move between jungle, coast, and sea. At the top of this living pyramid stands the jaguar, the Maya's sacred balam. For the Maya, it was more than an animal. It was a cosmic traveler, moving between night and day, life and death. Carved into lintels and painted on murals, the jaguar symbolized kingship, strength, and the underworld's mystery. Even today, Its presence in stories and rituals connects modern Maya communities to their ancestors. In the forest, the jaguar is a solitary hunter, moving like a shadow through dense undergrowth. Its bite, the strongest of any big cat relative to size, can pierce turtle shells and even crush small crocodiles. Guides often rely on tracks, scrapes, and distant roars, for an actual sighting is rare. This combination of physical power and mythic meaning makes the jaguar both a keystone predator and a cultural icon. Swinging high in the canopy, Jeffroy's spider monkeys keep the jungle lively. Their long tails act as fifth limbs, turning leaps into effortless acrobatics. Their chatter carries far, warning of predators or teasing rival groups. Among the birds, the toucan stands out instantly. Its rainbow-colored bill looks almost unreal, a living emblem of the tropics. Though clumsy in flight, its colors brighten the dim forest like stained glass. In the wetlands and salt flats, American flamingos create one of Yucatan's most unforgettable spectacles. Their pink color comes from the carotenoids in shrimp and algae, turning flocks into floating blossoms. When thousands gather, entire lagoons shimmer in shades of coral and rose. During breeding season, they dance in unison, stepping and bowing like a choreographed ballet. Celestún and Rio Lagartos are their most famous sanctuaries, where mangroves and salt ponds frame their grace. To the Maya, flamingos embodied elegance and balance, bridging the elements of land, water, and sky. Out at sea, whale sharks arrive with the warm summer currents. Despite their massive size, they are gentle filter feeders, gliding like living islands. Sea turtles also call the peninsula home, nesting on moonlit beaches before returning to the waves. Playful dolphins often escort passing boats, their leaps tracing silver arcs across the sea. But Yucatan's waters are not always gentle. Crocodiles reign in the lagoons with ancient patience. In Rio Lagartos Natural Park, Morla's crocodiles bask along muddy banks, blending seamlessly with their surroundings. Their bodies appear motionless, but their unblinking eyes give away their watchfulness. When prey strays close, they erupt from the stillness with explosive speed. At night, boat tours reveal their glowing red eyes scattered across the mangrove channels. They are living fossils, survivors of a world far older than human civilization. Local conservationists monitor their numbers carefully, balancing tourism with ecological protection. From jaguars in the jungle to flamingos in the salt flats, from turtles in the reefs to crocodiles in the lagoons, Yucatan's wildlife forms a vast living mosaic. Each species plays its part, but together they reveal the peninsula as one of the most extraordinary crossroads of nature and culture in the Americas. Yucatan is a place where the grandeur of nature meets the brilliance of human history. Few destinations in the world can boast such harmony between wild beauty and ancient heritage. The jungles are alive with mystery. The cenotes glisten like mirrors to the underworld, and the ruins stand as silent storytellers of the mighty Maya. This is not just a land to visit, it is a land to feel. You hear the echoes of chants in sacred temples. You see colors of tradition in every textile, and you taste centuries of culture in every dish. Yucatan is more than a postcard. It's an experience carved into memory. Travelers here don't simply pass through, they leave transformed. Because Yucatan teaches that the past is never truly gone, it breathes in the present. Standing before El Castillo at Chichen Itza, you realize you're not only a tourist, you're a witness to something eternal. The Caribbean breeze in Tulum carries both salt and story. And the cenotes? Gefretun. They're not just swimming holes, they're doorways to another world. That is Yucatan's gift. It invites you to travel not just in space, but in time. As we end this journey, remember, to set foot in Yucatan is to begin a voyage where history and modern life walk side by side. Now tell us, if you had the chance, what part of Yucatan would call to you first? The temples, the waters, or the people? As our journey through the Yucatan comes to a close, the echoes of ancient temples and turquoise waters linger in the mind. But Mexico is vast, and every corner holds a story waiting to be uncovered. Beyond the coastline lies a land shaped by mountains, valleys, and time itself. It's a place where traditions run deep and the past whispers through every street. A world of colors, flavors, and rituals unlike anywhere else. Here, history feels alive, carried not just in ruins, but in daily life. The air is heavy with legends, and every path leads to discovery. It invites curiosity, promising a richness you can't find on the surface. Our next stop will take us into this very heartland of Mexico. A land called Oaxaca, where mystery and culture intertwine.